Hey guys, so today we are going to be learning how to properly glaze a bowl or any piece of ceramics. So the first thing that we're going to need is our rules, and you're going to make sure you read all your rules and know what you need to do. The next thing you want to do is lay all your tools that you are going to use. Now let's get started. First, you want to set your timer to 5 minutes depending on how thick the glaze is, and now you're just going to start mixing your glaze with the drill before turning it on. Move any chunks around and then turn on your drill to mix the glaze until you get a vortex. And the consistency of your glaze should be like cream. Now that your glaze is mixed, you want to dampen a sponge and clean your piece. Now that your piece is clean, you want to dip your piece quickly into the glaze and wait for it to dry and put it aside. Your next piece, you're going to clean it like the last one. And for this one, I'm going to be using my clamps because I'm dipping both the inside and the outside with the same color. Remember to dip it in quickly. Now just wait for it to dry. Okay, so now that your piece is dry, what you're going to want to do is smooth out any bubbles you see on the inside and in the outside. Okay, so now that you're done glazing both of your pieces, what you're going to want to do is dip your sponge in water so that you can wipe off the foot of your piece. You're going to want to wipe off at least 3/4 of an inch from your piece. Make that a finger's length. And make sure that no glaze is on the foot because if it is, it'll get stuck to the kiln. You want to make sure that everything you wipe off is nice and even. So take your time and don't rush. Depending on the glaze is how much you want to take off the foot of your piece. Like for this glaze, I am using the royal blue, but if you want to use the jade, you're going to want to wipe off at least an inch of your foot because it's going to drip a lot. I'm just doing the same thing to my next piece. I'm wiping off the foot. And remember, wipe off at least 3/4 of an inch and take your time and make it as even as possible. Okay, so with this third piece, I am going to show you how to dip with two colors. So the first color is on the outside. You're just going to dip it straight down and wait for it to dry. Then you're going to want to mix your next glaze and dip it in some sort of container and move it around and dip it in quickly so that it won't get stuck. And there you have your two glazes. Now that we're done with all our pieces, we're going to want to clean up. So you're going to want to wash all your tools with water and then you're just going to dry them up and put them away in the right place. Your drill, you're just going to turn it on and spin it around the water and it'll clean itself. And you're just going to want to dry it up too. With your sponges, you can just clean them out with water, and with anything else, you clean it out with water and you dry it up as well. So as you can see, those are the three pieces that we glazed. The feet are wiped off completely. The glaze is pretty evenly distributed. I put in two different colors in the inside and we'll see how it turns out. And all of my pieces are nicely glazed. So this is the end product of my glazes. And my favorite one is the cylinder because I used two colors on the outside, the jade and the royal blue. And remember that the jade drips a lot, so I wanted it to do that effect, and it turned out really cool. And on the inside, I also used the jade, a forest green, and a lighter lime green. And it turned out really cool because the jade dripped, but the other two stayed like where they were supposed to be. So it actually turned out really great. not at all what I expected it to be. But just remember that when you're glazing, nothing's gonna turn out the way you want it because glaze can be unpredictable. So do what you want to do and it'll turn out great.